Lagos, good morning. It's time for Locker Room. That's where we talk sports and everything sports, athletics, Tega Supreme. Hi.
Good morning. Valentine, you want to try that again?
Good morning, Lagos.
Hi, Tega.
Good morning, Valentine.
That's a shade of you because you're complaining that you run up the stairs. Like, how are you?
Valentine, you like sports, yeah?
I'm here to talk sports. I'm not here to do sports.
All right, Lagos, as we get into things, it is a Feel Good Friday. Do remember that we're up on YouTube. You want to hit that subscribe button, which you can find on our channel. The reason being that everything that every video that we go live with, you get to see, you get a notification that comes up. Also, do use the hashtag LockerRoom981 while you're up on Twitter. Using that hashtag means we can see and read out your messages, but there's also a live chat function right there in the YouTube video, so you can send in your messages there, and we will be reading out all the YouTube messages that come through as well. And last but not least, as usual, we've got our WhatsApp number. Add us to your contact list. We should be there already. Keep us close to your heart. Smooth FM Studio. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444-0981, and Rota says sign languaging some stuff. The pantomime is a bit rubbish.
Yes, I'm just sending the visuals.
Let's go into the sports stories for today.
Alright, so the Super Falcons of Nigeria will face their French counterparts at the Stade Arena in the city of Le Mans in France on Friday. That's today, or actually no, next week Friday on the 6th of April 2018 in a friendly match. So coach Thomas Denby, whose maidens composed entirely of home-based professionals, they took third place at the WAFU Women's Cup of Nations in Abidjan in February, following penalty shootout defeats by Ghana in the semi-finals, will have the complement of foreign-based gladiators as well when they pitch battle with France as from 9 p.m. on Friday next week. So the United States-based forward Courtney Dike and Ordega will be first arrivals at the Le Mans on Tuesday, 3rd of April. The same day, the delegation from Nigeria will depart the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. The Super Falcons will lodge at the Monsieur Le Mans Center.
Yes. Finally, the NFF have woken up.
They paid them their money.
It's time for girls to play. We've left them for over a year, so let's just give them one friendly to cool them down. But at least they've done something. They've got us a good team. It's France. When it comes to women, even men's football, they're quite up there. But when it comes to women's football, you're talking US, Japan, France. It's fantastic. So I like the team that they've brought out. But I just want to ask, the NFF and the coach, when Rasheedat Ajibade will be considered adult enough to play for the national team. I mean, she's been fantastic in all great football. And their legs are left out. I mean, we left out Azizat, we left out Onome. For the coach understands whatever reasons or why he left those players out. But you still didn't even have the opportunity to invite Rasheedat Ajibade, who's climbed up to under 20 and is doing and featured for them at the WAFU Cup. So I just don't like this turn. It's not your time. Turn by turn. You still have time to come and play. If the girl is good enough to play for you at national level and she's scoring goals,
I wonder why she's been sidelined.
Yeah, then bring her in and let's see what she can do, especially if you bring her in with the internationals, then you know where she can fit into the team. So I think that's my only grouse, that she hasn't yet been upgraded, let me put it that way, to the senior national team. Other than that, it's a friendly. Let's see how the rest of the girls put on the showing against France.
All right, wish them the best of luck. Moving on to boxing news, we got a big heavyweight bout coming up. Been waiting for this. Eddie Hearn is admitting, he says Anthony Joshua is under pressure. So Anthony Joshua feels the weight of expectation as his fight against, quote, relaxed Joseph Parker draws closer, says his promoter Eddie Hearn. Quoting Eddie Hearn here, he says Anthony has been edgy in preparation. Joseph Parker's promoter David Higgins, Parker himself, and Parker's trainer Kevin Barry have tried to get under Anthony's skin. I wouldn't say it's worked. The pressure is on him and Anthony Joshua, and he knows he has to perform. It's all about performance. He wants to show the world and show his coach how he's improved since the Klitschko fight. He is learning and improving. Take your thoughts.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. First of all, his trainer came and said he had to lose a little bit of weight because in as much as he was helping his punches, it wasn't really helping his movement, so he wasn't as quick. as before. So I think trimming down a little bit for me was fine, because at some point it started looking like all those bouncers at all these events. it was fine to get him to lose some weight. It doesn't mean he has shrunk to a tiny size. I mean, he's still a good size bigger than Parker, and we're thinking that maybe, of course, the size may count in this situation. He's fast, he's okay, but Parker has improved as a boxer. Wow. which is another thing that might give Anthony Joshua some problems. Parker is not that guy that just used to depend on his punches before, and it's not that guy that used to be able to take in punches. He's now a guy that is an aggressor. So Anthony Joshua doesn't take care. Parker can get in a punch or two and it's over. But what I want to see Anthony Joshua do, don't come and do showbiz. I think Anthony Joshua's next two fights, there's no need for showbiz. Fight like you know how to fight. If you see an opening, kill off the fight as early as possible. Even if we're just about to take our seats, kill it off, we're fine.
No, he's been training really hard.
Yeah, but he's showing you what he's been doing recently. We know he's training hard, but there's this, I mean, the first few fights he always finished the fights off too early, and people were saying, oh, we don't even get a chance to enjoy our fight. So then he started trying to drag out the fight just a little bit, even if he sees
does he have the endurance to go the whole
But
mile?
I think with Parker, he shouldn't try it, and certainly not if he ever gets to face him. Certainly not with Deontay Wilder, because that's another. Certainly not with Deontay Wilder.
Bronze bomber.
that's another guy you should, if you see an opening with, finish him off well. If not, he will come back and he will finish you. So I think the next two fights he shouldn't do that. But all in all, I mean, this is Saturday night,
yeah. Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Do you have a prediction for the winner?
I'm thinking Anthony.
Yeah, I'm going with Anthony Joshua. Valentine, who do you think is going to win? It's
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Valentine, who do you think is going to win?
I'm with Anthony anytime. Anytime. I like his sense of humor. So move on. This one is about Sloane Stephens. So the United States Open champion Sloane Stephens staged a magnificent comeback to defeat Victoria Azarenka and reach the Miami Open final for the first time. American 13th seed Stephens beat the former world number 1 3-6, 6-2, 6-1. And when Stephens, who's 35 years old, was asked what she thought about 25. Did I say 20?
Just give her 10 years. Well, just added 10 years.
She's young. She's young, guys. So she's 25. She says, I knew I had to stay in it. Victoria is a great champion. I kept battling and I got a little momentum going in the second set. And she continues, growing up in South Florida, it's so incredible to be in the final. I knew I had to focus on my side of the court and be solely focused on myself.
I think it was a fight. Like I said, with Azarenka, she would put it in, she will dig deep. And after the first set, it just looked like there was no way Sloane Stephens was going to come back. Second set came and you could tell that this was going to a third, because I don't know where, so maybe Sloane Stephens has a party button in her brain that she just hits on and she starts getting in her ground strokes well, but she was absolutely monster in the second set. And then of course the third set was just a matter of formality, because she completely steamrolled Victoria Azarenka. But kudos to Azarenka. She has, like I said, she hasn't played a lot of tennis. She comes back and she was able to push all the way to the semi-finals, only to be knocked out by an equally resurgent Sloane Stephens. So it was impressive to see. Azarenka was ranked 108 at the start of the tournament. I think what she's done at the Masters will push her a little higher, but Sloane Stephens just back with a bang. She may be facing I think she's going to be facing Ostapenko, and that's another heavy hitter. That's where the test of her mental strength will really be, because she has a tendency, she has the power, she has the talent, but sometimes she has this tendency of, Sarah, what will be, will be. Yeah, she does have that tendency, and her coach always tells her that you need to drop that if you're going to be a consistent champion. One Grand Slam is good, but it's not enough. They're people that have won 20 something, so
do not relax.
so try to push it. So I think that's the next thing she has to do. Just once, if she could get herself to win this Masters, then I don't know what's going to stop her from winning another major title again. But it's fantastic to see her back in great form.
Remember, Lagos, you can send your messages to WhatsApp 0809 444 981. On Twitter, use the hashtag LockerRoom981. Here's a message from Bash from Yaba on WhatsApp. He says, I'm hoping that Parker is out
No, knocks out AJ.
Knocks out. Oh, K out. Okay, yeah. So knocks out AJ in the 6th round.
Okay,
Okay, interesting. He said he hopes. Sorry, prediction. I mean,
he hopes.
Bash, I don't want to see you on this timeline again. Just
On the 6th round, though, Lagos will have to take a break. When we come right back, we'll take more sporting stories inside of the locker room. I'm excited this time. Good morning.
Whoa, nobody better beat AJ.
Yes,
AJ, I'm waiting for AJ
I like
to
him.
hold up.
I like how he fights.
I like that he puts his work in it. That's it.
Yes.
It's a discipline to work.
As much as he likes to play,
Yeah, it's discipline to work.
actually disciplined.
I just. It's fantastic what he has to do. He'll be alright. Opaka is a lot faster now, so he needs to.
Clorox chewing gum for fresh breath. The Kitty Culture Festival is back this
Kitty Culture! Kitty Fest is this weekend, guys!
5 years back to back, and it just keeps
I don't give me any money.
Come and experience the best of food, games, arts, and music all day and all night.
Science, how we do
Featuring
that.
Wizkid, Two-Face, Efya, DJ Spinall, YC, Brimo, Adekunle Gold, SEC, Mayor Kun, and many more. Tickets are available at www.
But yeah, I know, it's really sad. They don't say what happened.
Resellers listed on the
I'm
website.
opening it
Follow
up.
us at GiddyFest on all social media for updates and a chance to win tickets for your Giddy Drive. GiddyFest 2018 takes place this Good Friday, March 30th, 2018 at Hard Rock Cafe Beachfront, Lagos. Gates open at 12 noon. Buy pre-sale tickets at www.giddyfest.com. Students 3,500 naira. General admission 5,000 naira. VIP 20,000 naira. Refreshed by Pepsi.
I don't want to know this thing.
I know.
Nkechi buys everything she's
Think
written down on her
it's
shopping list.
just
She now
taking so
confidently
many
heads to
people.
the checkout point to pay. She brings
So
out her
many.
phone to scan to pay
So
with
getting
PayPal.
that messy.
She scans the QR code and it's a success! And just like that, Nkechi has qualified for a trip to the 2018 FIFA World Cup
Dude,
Russia.
why are you excited like this?
Nigeria! Nkechi has done it!
Minimum of 1,000 naira on each of
These people should not be giving us things that they will not give us. Do you understand? The people that should, do you understand? The first partakers of this something should be the people that, do you understand? Why they do like this?
No questions.
I won't play this thing. I just I'm so nice. Like, so who are you taking from? You understand? I take it for small level.
No questions, man.
The ARM Pensions Run for the Future is back, and it's going down on the 14th of April, 2018 at the Blue Roof at Gidimbi Road, Ikeja. Get ready to burn calories, win freebies, and have a fantastic time. Register for free at www.armpension.com/RFTF. The Run for the Future
Back in.
is supported by Samsung.
Okay, have you just done a story?
Yeah. Versus
ARM Pensions.
Studio.
Tomorrow is looking good.
This is Rodis, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
And we are back in still talking sports here in the locker room on Smooth 98.1. As we go straight into our next story, do remember that we are still taking your messages as well. The hashtag is lockerroom981 on Twitter, and the WhatsApp number is 0809 444 981. Not forgetting, of course, that you can leave comments directly on the live stream right now on YouTube. But up next, Tottenham manager Mauricio Pochettino says that matches against Chelsea are so intense that they can be compared to North London derbies. He says Arsenal, Chelsea are always tough games because they're derbies, and for me it is a similar type of opponent, and for the fans it is so important. Pochettino went on to say it's always a massive game because it's a London derby, and I think that when you play this type of game, I think the pressure is for both teams. Of course, there's still a lot of games to play. It is not a final, it's not a decisive game that is going to put you in one or another position because there are still so many games to play, but obviously it is important for your confidence, for your motivation, and to win against Chelsea would be fantastic for everyone, but it will be a very tough game. They are a very good team, and it's always tough to compete with them.
Yeah, and it will be very important for who finishes in top 4. You didn't mention that. Just did it like it was just
it's not a big deal.
one random 3 points.
But
I mean,
it's
not a random
Just
3
out here
points.
chilling.
but he's right about the London derby, and especially recently with Tottenham and Chelsea and one person stopping the other person from winning championships. It's just totally different. The thing I hate about big games immediately after the FIFA break is players returning from their national teams, different time zones. You don't know which one is carrying a knock. And that's what, and you barely even have enough days to prepare for those big games. So you arrive on Wednesday, by Thursday and Friday, that's at best what you have. Saturday is really not, there's not much you can do with that training day. So it's a question of how fit these players would be when they get back. The good news for Chelsea, Morata is back in, and so he's that option for Antonio Conte. I won't say sad news. The thing about Tottenham is that they may or may not have Harry Kane. Pochettino was trying to be a bit hopeful about it, saying that they would check him as he goes. So it's a day-to-day basis, and maybe by Saturday they'll decide that he's fit enough to play at least 15 minutes in the game. So if they have that option, then he can play. Otherwise, I mean, the other options they have, Son and Llorente, are not bad options, and considering the fact that Llorente did not even play in international weekend, he's been with the team, so he could feel it. But when you have that lethal guy, that guy that can score goals, and you're not sure that he can play for you against a big game like this and a London derby, it's not a very comfortable place to sit. But I mean, I saw most of the Chelsea players over the FIFA weekend. They look in great form for their teams. Yeah, Rudiger lost one game with Germany, but he also won. Played a good game against Spain for Germany. So you look at that team and you say, okay, maybe their country helped them prepare them a bit better. If you ask me, I'd say this one looks a little bit like it favors Chelsea, just a little bit. But on the day, Tottenham can come in and give in a good display and completely beat Chelsea. But the fight is for the top four. It's not just a random 3 points. It's not just bragging rights. And so both coaches know it, and they will take it that serious.
All right, moving on to La Liga from the Premier League. Zidane has no faith in me, says Isco. And Isco is one of my favorite players. So hat-trick hero Isco said it was a relief to play for Spain as he feels Real Madrid coach Zinedine Zidane has no faith in him. Lopetegui gives me confidence with minutes, with games. Isco said, with Madrid, I do not have the confidence that the player needs. Maybe the problem is me, that I've not won Zidane's confidence with the good players there. When you play a leading role or have continuity in your club team, the games with the national team give me life. I have the confidence of the coach with Spain. I still have a lot of enthusiasm to work, to improve, to be a starter for my club and the national team. I feel that I'm at the beginning and I want to show that I'm a good player. Tega, your thoughts on Isco's comments? Isco.
It's really tricky. You don't want to be saying that right now. Just
very bold stuff. I was like, wow.
Yes, it's not the kind of statement you want to be making now. But I don't know. And it would have been a good time for him, because I'm hearing from quarters that they will be resting Cristiano Ronaldo so that he'll be fit enough for Juventus during the UCL. So I mean, I think I thought Zizou would try to test a few players. They played against Las Palmas, so it's an opportunity to try one or two new players. And then Isco comes out and makes this bold statement, as if, you know, his club coach is not getting the best out of him, but his national coach is getting the best out of him, and the club is where you earn your stripes ultimately. So for him to be saying this at this point in time, when his leg is still on shaky ground, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be the guy that, you know, you look like you are subjecting or submitting to whatever the coach's plans are for you. And if in the end it works out, then you're supposed to be the one with the right attitude, and if it doesn't work out, you're still the one with the right attitude. But making this kind of statement, and Zizou is not that guy that you mess with. He will not say anything, but you will just notice that those reduced numbers will become non-existent minutes. You'll just slowly be sitting on your bench.
Do you think it's a cry for clubs to bid for him in the summer?
Well, there are clubs already looking at him. There are clubs and top clubs already looking at him that they're going to buy him. So if he's trying to tell us that maybe his agent is indicating that he's reaching an agreement with one club, that's the reason why he'd say this kind of thing, because he already had interest. But to say this now and to say this about I don't think, for me, if you ask me, not always a wise move. play your game to the last minute, and whatever happens, it happens. Don't throw your coach under the bus.
Okay, a couple of messages real quick. Shegun from Ikorodu says, Tega said good news. Is it the Morata that has not started his 2018 football? Spurs with the sun to win, he says.
Yeah.
And Bashram Yaba says, I'm hoping that Parker, I don't know what that means, knocks out AJ. Sorry.
I've already
it's
won
not
them.
really Apple for you. Sorry, it's all right. And this is in from Ayo Dele Okunfolami. He says, every wicket you break, every sport. How come I've not heard anything about Australian ball tampering here?
But you saw them crying yesterday now. All of them were crying. They were begging
Cried,
us.
they
It's
said
okay.
bye.
So we heard them.
I've heard, really well.
They should
Anyway,
go on their 12
so
month ban. They'll be alright.
Messi's fitness is dog in Barca.
Ah.
So Barcelona must decide whether to field Lionel Messi as they resume their bid for the La Liga title, away to Sevilla on Saturday, amid doubts that their talisman's fitness at the start of a grueling period of 7 games in 22 days. Valverde said on Wednesday that he was not overly concerned about Messi's fitness and laughed off suggestions that his forward will be affected by Argentina's humiliating 6-1 defeat to Spain on Tuesday. In his words, Messi has a bit of discomfort, but we think it's nothing important. We are relaxed.
First of all, they said it was hamstring. Now it's a bit of discomfort.
Yeah.
So that they'll say he had once
something like
you see what
small,
I was saying about this thing. Once there's a big game like this for club, somehow these players will just develop something. All of a sudden Messi may be fit to face Sevilla on Saturday. The good news about that game is that they have a very healthy cushion. They have 11 points between them at Atletico Madrid, who is their closest rival. So in as much as it's a tough game, very close to the international break. And again, you have to consider most of the top players will be coming from South America. So there's Messi, there's Suarez. Usually they like to give them that time off. Well, fortunately for them, some of these South Americans played in Europe. They didn't have to travel all the way home. So I think that would change one or two things for them. Paulinho was in Russia and then Germany, so it's not like he left the continent. So I think they'll be fit enough to play. That's the good news for them. But Sevilla, with their dodgy form, Sevilla can wake up in the morning. You know how they are. Beat Manchester United, come the next day and lose to, who was that team that lost to? It was just the most ridiculous display I've seen. So they're that kind of, you don't know what day Sevilla, a good Sevilla team will show up. And this international break is also one of those kind of periods that they can throw up a dodgy display. So it's not a consistently formidable team they are facing, even if it's a big name team. And Sevilla will also be looking towards a preparation in other tournaments. But this is going to be, how should I say, a preamble to the Copa del Rey final. It's both of them that are playing there, so they'll want to know each other and understand each other and see how they'll score up against each other when it comes to that championship. So let's see how it turns out for them. I still say always Barcelona has that edge. So I think they'll win, maybe with or without Messi. I think Barcelona can get a result against Sevilla, I think.
And very quickly, Jack Wilshere will be available for Arsenal's fixture against Stoke on Sunday, says assistant manager Steve Bould. He says Jack Wilshere trained yesterday, so he's okay. Everybody else has come back as far as we're aware. And he said this filling in at Thursday's press conference for Arsene Wenger ahead of their clash with Stoke. He says we'll find out a bit more this morning, but Jack was okay yesterday. Jack's okay, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
They play Stoke City and you want to play Jack? I don't understand. Well, I mean, even if Stoke City have become the worst when it comes to conceding goals, they're still tough physically.
They're vicious boys.
Yeah, and then you want to play Jack.
I feel like you just got back, let's take you out.
No, rush him in. But first of all, the whole conference wasn't even a press conference, wasn't even about Stoke City or anything. It was about Arsene Wenger not showing up and Steve Bould having to represent him. Arsene Wenger fell ill, so Steve Bould had
curses.
Exactly. Well, hello. Isn't it obvious?
We're just saying. So it's catching him.
So we're just following up from press.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has met him as well.
So Steve Bould came on to talk about this game that is equally big. If you ask me, top 4 is already gone. For me, even mathematically, top 4 is gone. Arsenal's only hope, if you ask me, of getting into the UEFA Champions League this season is winning the Europa and hoping someone knocks out Atletico Madrid for them, but winning the Europa. So this game, I won't say it's a formality because there's still people that can push them down from that 6th position out completely out of Europe. So I would say this game is another chance for them to start building against next season. I heard from some players that they had a secret player meeting, and that's how they're able to turn their season around. So hopefully that will continue from the international break, or otherwise it will just be another form to laugh. I don't think Stoke City is strong enough this season, have shown themselves strong enough to win. I think they're going to be relegated. I hope they're relegated.
Strong words.
Wow,
Lagos, please, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll take the last few messages from the last few minutes of locker room. Good to hear.
Look, it's Paul Lambert. He should go back to the championship. They're 19th. I don't think they'll come back. I hope they're ready.
Oh, battling boys.
So I was
And they beat Arsenal. They showed promise early in the season, and they just
battling guys.
fell to
Battling
pieces.
guys.
They're going to die.
thinking.
They should
They
go.
will not fight their last battle. That's all.
They should just go. They should go to the championship. It fits them. And I want Shaqiri to move, so they should go to the championship.
Really
If they go, he will move.
beautiful natural skin
That is
tone.
not a
But you know this
championship.
Niger some can like to dollar shine sha, making you at least 2 shades darker.
Talk about the juju from Benin. It's working.
We talked about for Feel Good Friday. I even actually thought about the topic earlier on in the week, and I was so proud of myself, and I promptly forgot. And I remember thinking, write it down before you forget.
Feel Good Friday, I mean.
Yeah.
Let's talk about crisis.
Are we crossed on the roads of Lagos? Because when people drive sometimes, I feel like there's a cross chasing all of us.
I actually saw 3 different accidents on my way to the office, and they were all nasty accidents.
And it's people just
Like
trying
the
to
drivers,
overtake. People
yeah.
drive with the full just to overtake other people and to stop other people from overtaking them.
Even if
They're
there's
not-
nothing in front
yes,
of them.
they're not driving
Let's
to
talk
get
about
to where
road
they're
rage.
going to. Yeah.
Just call it
No,
road
we're not
rage.
implementing. We're not punishing people. We still run. I'd love to share the story. I stopped somebody. I actually stopped a bus that ran a red light. I drove after him. I don't even. I don't. Of course, he didn't. I guess it's the whole power thing with being afraid of seeing an ID. So I actually used my Sloane FM ID. I just waved it out of the car, followed him. He was carrying these traditional drivers that they were going somewhere to even play for him. I came down. I was like, "Okay, at Jack on D, you ran a red light and you could have killed people." I was like, "No, I didn't." I was like, "No, you did." And I faked out. I was like, you know what? Look, I could carry your car to the station right now, but I was just gonna allow you. But just be careful how you drive. I did it. Yeah, everybody here, they were like, "Oh God, thank you." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And I drove in front of him, put on my double, and slowed him down. I was just sitting there, like, this guy just flew through, man. They don't care about red lights in this place at all.
It's so dangerous.
Man.
So dangerous. Out on the roads, man. If you stop for a red light, people honk for you.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Can't you see the road is empty? Just drive.
I'm
I'm
not-
like, there's a light. But even actually, a Lasmo officer did it the other day, which was so dangerous. You know, because sometimes when there's a lot of traffic, they flag you through red light anyways. And this guy, I don't know who taught him to direct traffic, standing at the side of the road. So first of all, we didn't see him telling us to go. So I was like, okay, let me go. And I realized he didn't tell the connecting the T-junction street to stop.
Yeah.
So just as we pulled out, this taxi guy was in the middle of the street and was abusing all of us. I got the lights. And I was like, sorry, man, but this... and the last guy did not move from his position at the corner of the street.
Well, that one
When
most times.
nobody could see him.
Most times they know that they're afraid of getting run over, so they'll stay on one
So
side.
everybody else can die.
That's what they do sometimes.
I suppose that's fair enough, and that's also something because they do get killed, which is also really sad. Some people actually deliberately aim for them.
We didn't even mention I told you, the British, no British.
Okay, it's okay, they don't have. I've told them on YouTube. There are no British people there. We mentioned this in the morning
At
news.
all.
Yeah. They usually just have one on a normal day, so.
So they asked to replace the
So
guy.
even
He
the
said
one,
no.
even the one that
He
they
went to
are
teach them in
they
Saudi
taken from
Arabia.
them and given to another country.
Yeah, please. The guy took himself away from them. He said it's okay.
People were trying it too much.
Let me know I'm going to retire with good money.
Yes.
Not be chopping abuse for peanuts.
Exactly.
And honesty. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
As people go like this English, people can cost people too much. I'm going to Saudi Arabia. Let me
That
go
even
there
if they
money.
cost him there,
Even
he's
they cost
good
me
money
there.
to back up the cost. He's like, okay.
I've been paid some good money, baby.
Very well. It's not as if he's a woman in Saudi Arabia. He'll be fine.
Exactly.
Okay, have a great life experience.
Even
You should, I just hope you do not move there with a girlfriend. Move
Ah.
there with a wife. Because you end up in jail.
No, I don't think that Clattenburg, that thing is doing Clattenburg like that.
Ah. As I said, you should just respect himself. I met people that were deported for living together in Dubai. Not the most liberal of the places. Because you're not supposed to live with your girlfriend. Are you married?
Yes, no, you're
You're
not
not
allowed to.
married.
In Dubai, no, I'm
Yes,
sorry,
in
from
Dubai,
Dubai.
Dubai, yeah.
Deported them.
The law
I
is
think
not
a
lax.
neighbor returned them. No, it's laxer than in other the rest of the
Yeah,
Arab
in
countries. That's
Saudi
why they
Arabia.
go there to play.
Yeah.
Dubai is the playground for all the Arab countries, but they still don't play. And I think a neighbor must have seen them going in together one day. Called the police. Police should have. Who are you living here with? Is she?
Quickly.
The guy first spent time in jail before they deported him. That's the worst part.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
The guy
So
was
back
so
in
upset. South African dude.
studio. Nah. Alright, mics are up. If you're watching on YouTube, you see our dance steps on the chair.
You gotta get it. It's a feel good Friday. You know when that old school beat comes in, you're like, oh, my 80s jams.
Yeah.
But we'll read out a few messages just to round up the show because we don't have any more time for stories. We're actually done with the show, really. Big E up on WhatsApp says, I'm not sure what I dreamt today, but I saw AJ in my dream beating somebody. Now,
Hey.
I'm not sure who it is.
Hey.
But which makes me know that he will win in the 10th round with a super knockout, he says. And then Big T comes back in to say, Tega, you know Folu likes Arsenal. Please stop telling her that the Gunners have no mathematical chance of making top 4. Even though I agree with you, it's Good Friday. Have a heart. Hey,
With that
I will not
emoji.
comment. Well done. Well done. The show is done. A big thank you to Tega for coming in always and giving us great sports analysis. Find her up on social media at Tega Supreme or Ladies in Sports International.
And
LIS
please-
International.
Yeah, please subscribe to our YouTube channels at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Just type into the search box and you'll be part of the family.
And that's it. We'll be back for the final hour of Smooth Breakfast, Valentine Rotus, and myself, Folu. Keep listening.
Yeah, we still need to talk about this last quarter that they've taken.